You mean Elastigirl, Mr. Incredible, Shield Girl, Flash Boy, Jack.
Ice Boy. Wait, are you saying Samuel L. Jackson plays the baby? Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tank Talks.
That's right. My name's Keith.
And I'm Brandon. And I must say I really enjoy the music that plays at the beginning of these.
Do you? I thought, really when I picked it, I thought, I don't know if people like this or not.
Did you make it or did you choose it?
I just chose it.
Oh, okay.
I don't make any of our music anymore. I haven't made any music since I made the theme music for the Tank Media podcast, and that music is, it's not great.
Well, our Academy Award would disagree.
So, Brandon, tell me, how have you been?
I've been good.
What you been thinking about recently?
I've been going through this problem lately where I've been trying to find the correct formula to a PB&J sandwich.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. What has led to this thought process? I apologize, folks, if I'm a little bit slow to get traction on this video. I can't tell you a reason why, but I feel like I'm a little bit slow.
Well, Keith, I just can't recreate the taste of back in the day. And it makes me wonder if the sandwiches were really good or if I was just young and I thought that the sandwiches were really good.
Is it possible that as you grow older and your palate grows wider and more complex, that the taste that you once tasted is now so diluted by other tastes that you've experienced as an adult that you really truly could never experience the PB&J the same way that you used to?
I don't know. I tried putting a lot on there.
Okay.
And it didn't work. Then I tried
a lot of each?
Mm-hmm. Then I tried individually putting a lot on
one or the other.
But I just can't find the right, like, is it a 40-60 thing? Or is it really, do you include the bread? So is it really the bread should be 40% and the PB&J should only be 30%?
I went through a thing as a child when my grandmother discovered that she mixed them herself at first. We used to have the squeeze bottles of Welch's.
Yeah.
And then whenever it was over, she would just put peanut butter and jelly in there and mix it together herself somehow. And then she would have her own bottle of mixed PB&J.
Really?
But then she learned that they sell that in the store. They sell bottles of that. And so we had that for a while. And I really enjoyed the mixed PB&J. But I can't tell you the right formula.
I thought about buying the pre-mixed one, but our roommate was very concerned when I told him that I may be purchasing that.
Concern for your health or concern for your well-being?
I think it might have been that it had the word goober on it, and it might have been that I used like 10 emojis when I said that I was going to buy it.
Okay, that probably would have thrown me off, the emojis more so than the peanut butter and jelly. But I don't think we're here to talk about peanut butter and jelly today, Brandon.
What we're here to talk about is Kool-Aid Jammers.
Really? Okay. Today's episode brought to you by Kool-Aid Jammers.
I was trying to board the segue when I was talking about the PB&Js onto this, but
I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you, Brandon. I was a little slow throughout all of our intro, which has turned into our whole video. What's interesting about a Kool-Aid Jammer is that you could have a Kool-Aid Jammer today, or you could have a Kool-Aid Jammer 20 years ago, and their branding and packaging would look no different.
That's so true. Maybe these were vintage.
Are you sure you didn't get
circa 2002 Kool-Aid Jammer?
It's got a real. There's a nice vintage to this Kool-Aid Jammer.
It tastes like Kool-Aid.
80 proof Kool-Aid Jammer. Nothing wrong with it.
These are always third on my list of drinks.
You know what? I'll be honest. I never liked Kool-Aid Jammers.
It always went High C, Capri Sun, and then Kool-Aid.
Oh, nope. It was, I'll tell you this. It was only Capri Sun.
Capri Sun was for the jocks.
No, Capri Sun.
High C was for the real kids.
Then I was a jock because it was Capri Sun or bust in my childhood. That's it. If there's no Capri Sun, it better be in a glass or a can.
High C just has a lot of vitamin C in it. So.
I don't remember actually feeling that way as a child. I would never have told my mom, like, oh, go back to the store and get me more Capri Sun. But we just didn't ever have anything besides Capri Sun. Also, this has become our new thing. I don't know if we told people this is our thing.
Drinking Kool-Aid Jammer.
Well, no, our new thing is Brandon's going to bring drinks to every episode. And I just made it canon that you do it. And that I don't have to. So I'm glad for that.
What if we were sponsored by Kool-Aid and every episode we had to drink a Kool-Aid product?
They better come out with some better flavors. That's all I got to say.
You hear that, Kool-Aid?
You hear that, Kool-Aid man?
We're not going to accept your money, no matter how much you throw at us, until you come up with a better flavor.
Here at the 5 minute mark.
That's canon from...
Here at the 5 minute mark, Brendan, I feel as though we ought to start the content of this video.
Okay, well, today we are looking at summer blockbusters. And
summer blockbusters.
Now, there are a lot of them. We only chose 5 of them.
Correct.
Because some of them are just bad. Other ones, like Ant-Man 2, do we really have to tell you to go watch Ant-Man 2?
No.
Just go do it.
You're going to do it
It's got
anyway.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Yeah, we've already talked about Paul Rudd. We like Paul Rudd.
Don't even listen to the critics whenever he's in a movie. You just go watch it.
They do not know anything, is what I
don't.
know about the critics.
Our first one, and now we have both watched the trailers for these.
Correct.
And I've got a little more information on them, just in case you may have missed something in the trailer.
I'm sure I have.
The first one we have is Deadpool, starring Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin. Is it Brolin or is it I think it's Brolin. Then Morna Baccarin.
You would know Josh.
Probably ruin that one.
You would know Josh Brolin from his role as Thanos in the highest-grossing superhero movie ever to date.
Now, the plot to this one is Deadpool forms a team of mutants called the X-Force to protect young mutant Russell from the time-traveling soldier Cable.
Cable, time-traveling soldier.
Now, you've seen the trailer. Keith, is this a movie that you would go see, or you're on the fence, or?
I'd like to see it. I think there's one. The first Deadpool movie, I'm always caught in this kind of action ratio that I want out of a superhero movie. Like, I'm always frustrated by superhero movies where it's like the 120 minutes of this movie is the origin. Like, yeah, he's done some fighting or whatever, but we haven't really seen the costume in full form. We haven't seen him really get the best of an enemy yet.
Yeah.
And then the last 10 minutes is, oh, no, he's super cool. Like, that bothers me, but I also don't want it just to be a non-stop bloodbath all the way from start to finish.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a good ratio of action. I feel like the first one I could have done with a little bit more action from Deadpool. I think they're going to satisfy me with that in this upcoming trailer. The villain is mysterious to me. I don't know anything about Cable. Didn't even know he was a time traveler until moments ago. In the trailer, he looks super strong. But he doesn't look to have any sort of like superpower that would be able to necessarily kill Deadpool, who cannot die, right? He's kind of super regenerative. Let me know in the comments what Cable's up to, but he looks mysterious. I'm looking forward to finding out what he's got to do.
Now, I've never been like a comic book fan, and really didn't know anything about Deadpool until the first one came out. But one thing I like is that with their movies, or with him like in particular, I feel like they're very like true to who he is. They don't try to like change it.
Sure.
Whereas like with Batman, like I watched a lot of different like versions of it. Like
Every Batman's different.
Yeah, and just some of the movies I've watched and thought, this isn't Bruce Wayne, this isn't Batman. Whereas I feel like with Deadpool, like it seems like they're doing him justice. And I also just love whenever I see someone in a role that you just tell they love. With Ryan Reynolds, you can tell that this isn't a cash grab. This isn't something where they said, if you play this, then we'll take you to the next level of like actor or whatever.
Right.
Like he just seems like he is truly just.
He likes Deadpool.
If this movie bombed, he would still have loved it.
Sure.
The next one is Solo.
Solo.
It stars Aiden Ehrenreich, Woody Harrelson, Emilia Clarke, Donald Glover. The plot is the film is centered on a young Han Solo and his adventures with his Wookiee partner Chewbacca, including their encounter with Lando Calrissian.
Lando. All these actors otherwise known as Tallahassee, Khaleesi, Childish Gambino, and that's the only ones that I know. The guy
and
playing
Chewie.
Han, yeah, and Chewie. The Han Solo I've never heard of. I'll be honest with you, Brandon. I didn't expect to enjoy this trailer because I would say, whereas a lot of people like in the generation above me would consider themselves, oh well, I'm just I'm a sequel snob, which means I only like episodes 4, 5, and 6. But for me, I kind of like the whole grouping of the first 6, and I haven't been too terribly impressed with the ones following. So especially The Last Jedi, I really was disappointed with The Last Jedi, which broke my heart a little bit. So I was kind of have this bad taste in my mouth for Star Wars films. But the Solo, I say all that to say I was expecting to be disappointed by the trailer, but it really didn't disappoint me. I liked it. I found it interesting. I think that guy will make a decent Han Solo. I really prefer if they could just like go into the past and pull Harrison Ford into it, because there's something that feels wrong about him not playing Han Solo. Story looks interesting. I do like Donald Glover as Lando. Big fan of that. I wouldn't consider myself a fan of him otherwise, but he just looks like he'd be a good Lando. I think it's going to be a decent movie, but I felt that way about The Last Jedi. So.
I think I was talking to Josh about how with the other Star Wars, you kind of had, it was like a book, like the 3 episodes, like you had a story, you told it, like you had an overarching story, but you had like your set of characters, like in this one, then like when 4, 5, and 6 came along, like, okay, you still had like the Emperor, and you still had like Obi-Wan and all, but you had like a whole new set of characters, and I feel like I don't like that Disney is just having a bunch of movies with kind of the same set of characters. Like I feel like is there enough story like gonna be there, or do you want the same, like, do you want 80% of the same characters to be?
I can agree with you there. I think that when Disney got a hold of it, I think we're gonna run into the thing where it's like it's just too much.
Yeah.
Part of the joy of Star Wars is not the quality or quantity. It was like you got to wait 2 or 3 years between each one, but now we get a Star Wars movie every year or twice a year.
See, even between them, you had 20? Was it 20? Like 20 years? I forget when the other ones came out. Between like the 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, and then you had Episode 3, I believe, came out in 2005. So then you had like 10 years or whatever you waited for the next one, so you had time, and I think they're oversaturating. But what I do like is that I feel like if they did less of the regular Star Wars and more of these films, just based off of like, okay, who was Han Solo before you met him? Yeah,
that's what they're calling it, I think.
Or like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like give him something between 3 and 4.
Reddit is ablaze with the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie and how only Ewan McGregor can play him. I can stomach someone playing young Han Solo.
Yeah.
I can stomach that. But if you give me anyone other than Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan, I will not go see it. You will not have my dollars, Disney. You will not take those dollars from me.
All right, so far we've got Deadpool and Solo. We've given 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up to the trailers of the.
I believe we're the first movie critics to ever give thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yeah, are we? Yeah.
So I believe we're the only ones to ever do that.
That and the Caesars back in the day.
The next one is Ocean's 8. Stars Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Mindy.
Kaling?
I think it's Kaling.
Yeah.
Sarah Paulson, Awkwafina, and Rihanna.
Awkwafina.
The plot is Debbie Ocean attempts to pull off the heist of the century at New York City's star-studded annual Met Gala. Gala. Met something. There's something going on annually. Her first step is to assemble the perfect crew. Amita, Tammy, Lou, Constance, Nineball, and Rose.
Nineball.
I bet Awkwafina also plays Nineball.
I think that was Rihanna.
I just feel like...
Is Rihanna on the cast?
I don't have like who plays who in it.
But Rihanna is in the cast.
Yes.
Based on the trailer, Rihanna is definitely playing Nineball.
Do you know Nineball? Or did she call herself Nineball?
Yeah, she called herself Nineball in the trailer.
I just feel like if you call yourself Awkwafina, that you can't just say, well, I'm going to be Tammy in this movie.
Yeah, we'll see. But to boil it down, I've also thought it looked interesting. I'm not sexist. I'm not going to say that you can't have a heist movie where only women do a heist. I'm not going to limit crime to men. Ladies commit crimes all the time. Crimes of passion. Premeditated crimes.
Watch a Lifetime movie. They do a lot of stuff.
Watch a Lifetime movie. It looked fine to me. I like these ladies are good actresses, and I love a good. I'll tell you this: I love a movie where there's a plan and it comes together. I do love that.
I got a show for you.
I'm not gonna make an A-team thing out of it, but I definitely love a movie or a book or anything where, as a plan is happening, you find out what actually was a part of the plan. Because the Ocean's movies were like, half of it is like he's like telling you how the plan is going to go.
Yeah.
But also part of it is them showing the actual plan happening. Like there's narration over it. I really love that.
I didn't see the original Ocean's movies.
At all?
No.
Yikes.
And none of these, like I know a couple of them. Like a really big fan of Mindy's. But really, it didn't stick out to me. So like I don't think that I would go and like pay to see this.
Sure.
But like I said, I didn't go pay to see the other Oceans.
Yeah. I don't know that's what we were judging on either.
Yeah. So I think also what I like is that, like, I'm a fan of, like, or like I'm not against if you do like an all like female, like if you take something that was like all guys and do all female if it makes sense. Like I have a problem when it's something that doesn't make sense or you're doing it just because. Yeah. Like you just say like, well, we got to put girls, because I think there's some things that you just know you have to have guys, you have to have women in it.
Of course.
But I think that this is a movie that you can interchange them. Like you could have guys, have girls. You could have
completely
like all
agree.
men. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not one of those things where it was like the Ghostbusters. A little bit frustrated me when they made it all like an all women cast. Never saw that movie, so you can give me grief in the comments if you'd like. But it just seemed like, we're just going to force a movie where it's women instead. But this one didn't have that feeling to me.
The next one,
it's not a comedy where Melissa McCarthy or whatever her name is in it.
The next one is Incredibles 2. It stars Holly Hunter, Craig T. Nelson, Sarah Vowell, Huck Milner, and Samuel L. Jackson.
You mean Elastigirl, Mr. Incredible, Shield Girl, Flash Boy, and Jack.
Ice Boy. Are you saying Samuel L. Jackson plays the baby?
No. Did I say Samuel L. Jackson?
I said Samuel L. Jackson, then you said Jack for Samuel.
Oh, no.
But I was like, wait a minute. What?
Frozone and then Jack.
The Parr family struggles to maintain normal lives while Helen, as Elastigirl, continues to fight crime and campaign for the return of supers, while Bob, also known as Mr. Incredible, stays at home, caring for their children Violet, Dash, and Jack, discovering the baby's secret powers in the process.
Cool. I think there's no way The Incredibles is not going to be good. I think one of the things about these animated Pixar films that they make you wait a long time, like Toy Story 3, that was so long after Toy Story 2. It's not like Star Wars. It's for some reason they just always get it right, in my opinion. I can't look at a movie like The Incredibles that's so cute and fun. I can't look at it through a critical eye to say like, oh, this one sucked worse than the first, or this is bad compared to the first one. I can't do it. It's going to be good. I'm going to enjoy it. It's been a long time. I'll probably enjoy it more now because I can appreciate movies more than I did when I watched The Incredibles the first time. Also played the Incredibles video game. So, take that, haters.
I don't really see anything exciting about this one.
It's cool. They're superheroes, man.
But see, I didn't really like the first one.
Why?
I just feel like it wasn't like when it came out, people were like, oh, superheroes. And then like when they announced the second one, they were like, oh man, you remember how we all
the hype
got tattoos? The
hype for this movie it's not even, I don't even think it's because everybody was like, oh, The Incredibles is the most amazing movie. It's for some reason the cliffhanger at the end of the first one where the mole man comes up and like essentially they're all but saying there will be a second movie coming soon. Yeah. And then like it's been over a decade. It's been so long. So that hype, it's like a sneeze that's been building all the way till now. And we're all going to sneeze, Brandon. It's going to be good. And it's going to feel great when we get it out.
I think really with this movie, if you just cut out the parts and you made like a YouTube video with like all of Samuel L. Jackson's lines and all of Bob Odenkirk's lines, I would be just as happy to watch that I would to watch the whole movie.
That's fine. We need to go to this next movie that I'm going to trash on.
Sorry to Bother You stars Lakeith Stanfield, Tessa Thompson, Jermaine Fowler, Omari Hardwick, Terry Crews, Patton Oswalt, David Cross, Danny Glover, and Steve Yeun. Set in Ocala, California, the film follows a young African-American telemarketer who adopts a white accent in order to thrive at his job.
I didn't care for this trailer. It didn't look like the movie looked. Now people are going to be like, oh, you're a racist. You're a racist person. You like the animated movie about the white superhero family, but you don't really care for the movie about the African American plight and having to pretend to be white to be successful. And I don't know what else to say about it. I just didn't like it. I think the concept is kind of dumb.
I don't think you like that style of movies though, because the trailer makes it feel really, I don't know, like really the background of it, so maybe it's really indie, but it just seems like a movie that, like, people just say, oh, you need to check out this movie, it won awards at a film festival type thing.
The movie to me just says, look at me, I'm different and good. But for me, just because you're different doesn't mean you're good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it may be a very good movie, but it just none of there's not a second in the trailer that made me think, I kind of want to see that. I just didn't want to see it.
See, I think that it got my interest enough to where I would, I say pay to see it, but I'm really cheap. So I would at least, if there's a way that I could see it like for free, because it got my attention. I think it really just depends on how, I guess political they get, like with it, or like what ends up being the message of the movie.
The message currently feels like you need to sound white to be successful, but that's what it feels like to me. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to cut you off, please.
No, I think just whenever you have a movie like that, it all depends on. It's like there's movies I've seen where I'm like, oh, that's pretty good, but they just get really preachy. Like that's the way I felt about I don't know if it was called Avatar, the one with like the blue people. Avatar. Like that one was something that I couldn't look past just how like I was like, this is very much like, okay, if you're a U.S. soldier, then you're evil. Like if we need to kill everyone to save the plants, we have to do that. Yeah, that type thing. But I feel like it's like I said, I'd be interested enough to give it a look, and I think the same with the style. I think that you can when it comes to a movie like this, with it being so different, you can either be like really really good, or you can be really really bad. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's hard to be in middle of the road, or I don't know. Maybe it's really easy to be middle of the road when you're throwing so many like strange things at it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have a aversion to something different. Maybe I'm that white. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm so white that I hate the change.
You also said you didn't like the Thor movie, so maybe you're not white, Keith.
Yeah, I really didn't care for Thor. I mean, Thor Ragnarok was okay, but I watched that yesterday. We don't have to talk about that. Brandon, this video is currently 22 minutes long, almost 23. So if anybody's still here, we hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes.
I'm sure out of all the places on the internet to get your movie trailer reviews, you landed here. So we're glad you watched. Then you made it this far. Brandon, do you have anything else before we cut this video off?
That is it.
Wonderful. So, based on our reviews, go see all these movies because one of us liked each of them. And we'll chat back in later on, maybe with what we actually thought of them. See you next time.
Bye.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Now, bye.
Bye.